Hello and welcome to a VO's Journey podcast. This is episode 144. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to land on. Tonight, I am going to be talking about 3 reasons why you need to get off your ass and audition. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it tonight. Let's do it.
This is VO's Journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica.
All right, so there are times, as you may have learned if you watch any of the things that I do, that I get, I can get saucy and full of energy occasionally. And the more I go along and get a little bit older, I seem to get just a little bit more saucy, as you would say. And tonight, I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it. And, I have been myself dealing with some issues in my voiceover business, and I want to talk to you about that, and I want to talk to you about the 3 reasons why I'm getting off my ass and auditioning more, and why you need to do the same. So first off, some context to what's going on in my voiceover business. It's absolutely incredible the amount of voice actors that I have met and I continue to meet on a daily basis, and the people who have trusted me in helping them grow their business. But what I've found is that it takes an incredible amount of time to work with lots of people, right? I mean, that makes sense. And the more people I work with and I coach, and the more people I help and work with and talk to and answer emails and messages and stuff, what I find is, of course, it gives me less time to do all of the marketing and the following up and everything that I was doing with my voiceover business. So inevitably, right, when someone comes to a crossroads, we have to make decisions, right? What are our priorities and what are we trying to accomplish for the long term? What is it that our true passions are all about? Well, clearly, my passion is acting. It's always been acting and performing, but I've always had this deep down desire to help people and to coach and to teach. I mean, I've done it for my entire life. And this is the first time in my life that I've had an opportunity to work with adults and, incredible people, hardworking people who want to provide for their families and who want to change their destinies, who want to prove to them, to other people and to themselves that they can make it happen, right? That it's not just some fantasy, but it can be a reality. And I love that. So what I've chosen to do a lot of times, right, is neglect my marketing and things for my voiceover business in order to continue to work with people and to put out content and to do coaching sessions. It's coming to a point now where I'm doing 3-4 a day. It's wonderful. I love coaching voice actors. I love coaching voiceover. I love, voice acting, voiceover business. I love helping people grow their business. And, I've finalized recently my entire coaching system for, the mentorship program that I have. I'm thrilled about it. But I've noticed a small decline in the voiceover work that I've been receiving. And I attribute that to my lack of actually doing the things that I need to do in order to get voiceover work. So today, I got off my ass and actually started to do some auditioning. And it has been an incredible day, some really amazing results. So I wanted to give you 3 reasons why I think it can be incredible for you and your business to start to make sure you are auditioning and getting yourself out there. The first thing, honestly, you all, is mental health. I don't know about you, but I get this horrible, horrible nagging feeling, right? Like just in my head and on my shoulders, and I like this weight when I don't do the things that I know I should be doing, right? It's like when you have a habit, like for example, if you know you worked out and you worked out one day, you worked out the next day, you worked out the next day, and the next day comes and you know you're supposed to work out. It's that nagging thing that I gotta work out, and it bothers you so much. Or on a like a worse note, right? Like on Sunday nights you got to get up on Monday and go to work. It nags the crap out of you. Or you have a job that has to be done, something around the house, the kitchen needs to be cleaned, the kids need a bath, all of that jazz. That stuff nags at us, right? Because it's just there. It's just bothering us. But the funny thing is that action takes that away. Action alleviates that stress. Actually doing the thing that scares us or freaks us out or frustrates us or makes us angry, doing it alleviates that problem. So if you're one of those people who you are worried about the way your audio sounds, you're worried about whether you're going to get the client, you're worried about someone saying something bad about you, you're worried about people saying you're bothering them, you're worried that no one is going to get, no one's actually going to hire you, you're worried about all these things, you need to get off your ass and just go for it. Take the action. Okay? That will alleviate a lot of stress in your life, and it will also help you get work, which will then alleviate even more stress. All right? All right. Tip number 2. I am a big proponent of doing and then focusing on getting better. I know some people have this thing where they are, and trust me, I was one of them, where I believed that I had to be perfect or I had to know every little nuance about something before I actually went to do it, because I wanted to make sure that everything I put out, everything I did was perfect. So if I didn't have that knowledge, I didn't have that practice under my belt, I didn't have that feeling that I was going to be perfect, then I was going to wait until that feeling came upon me. And in order to get that feeling, I thought, hey, listen, I've got to do the XYZ. I've got to practice. I've got to read more. I've got to take an extra course. I've got to do this, and that, all in the hope to try to make myself better. When reality, the best way to get better is by auditioning, right? And then getting better by the volume of the work that you are putting out. I know this might not be agreeable to some people, and that's okay. You can disagree with me. But what I'm trying to say for number 2 is, instead of you trying to focus on how perfect you are at everything, I want you to focus on the volume of work, of samples, of auditions you are doing. And by the sheer work that you are doing, you will get better. You have nowhere to go but up. Okay? So I want you to focus on the volume of the work, okay, as opposed to the quality. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying do crappy work, but I am saying that you need to be putting out consistent work, putting out consistent auditions, putting out consistent samples so that you can actually see how good you are and what you need to work on. Okay? I love Facebook groups. I love my group. And I love the opportunity to be in a community where we can help each other. But I will say that I see a lot of people posting their samples or their stuff in the groups, and I would make a huge bet that they don't actually post that stuff to actual sites or upload it for auditions or put it out on social media that's not like in a closed group setting, right? Because they're concerned or they're worried and they want feedback. And again, I'm not saying that there's a problem with that. I'm just saying that I like to do as much as I can and then evaluate where I am and get better. But if I don't have any data, if I don't have any starting place, then I've got no way to evaluate how good I am. And if I can't evaluate and measure what I'm doing, I can't get better. Does that make sense? So number 2, I want you to put volume before your fears about how good you are. Okay? I want you to start just getting work out there, volume. Put it out there. Okay? Here's something. What does it matter how good you are if no one ever hears it? What does it matter if you are the best in the world and no one actually turns on your work? Then are you really the best? Because no one's listening to it. So the whole point here is I want you to get the volume and increase your volume of work. All right? Okay, let's move on to number 3. The world is a giant place, right? We know this. Billions and billions and billions of people in the world. How can we expect people, all of those people to well, that's silly, right? How can we expect just a minuscule amount of those people to hear our work or to even know what we're doing unless we post our work to as many different sites as possible, to as many different social media outlets as possible? How is that going to be possible? And putting it out all on our website. So listen, tip number 3, why you need to audition like crazy is that there is a wide, wide world out there, and you are not going to get in front of anyone unless you put your work everywhere. All right, we all know I love Fiverr, okay? I love Fiverr a lot, but I also love any other place that's going to bring me work. I love small businesses. I love large businesses. I love my website. I love a multitude of freelance sites. I like pay-to-play sites. I love all kinds of sites that give me the opportunity to post my work and to bring it to me. You need to get your work on as many platforms as possible, as many casting sites as possible, as many pay-to-play sites as possible. You need to send out as much as you can to as many people as you can. You're not bugging them. You know why? Because I say this with a lot of love, you and we are practically nothing to other people who don't know us because we're not a part of their lives yet, right? Yet. Hopefully we will be soon, but we're not at this moment. So we can't think that we are so important that people are going to, just hunt us down and be like, you can't bother me. Why are you sending me these samples? Darn you. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is getting your stuff everywhere so that you have a 1/1,000,000th of an opportunity for someone to hear you and like you, someone to hear and really connect with your voice and what you're doing. Then you need to have a place that they can find you and learn more about you, how to contact you. But you've got to first start by getting your stuff everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It should be your goal to get your stuff in every single place and under every single rock that you can find. That should be your third and largest goal. So let's go ahead and recap the 3 biggest things that you need to do to get off your ass and audition. Okay? Number 1, mental health. This is probably one of the most important things is our attitude. Our attitude affects everything we do. It affects how much action we take. It affects our mood, which in turn affects our decisions, which in turn affects our outcomes of what our actions and our actions determine whether we succeed or not. Okay, so making certain that you are in the right mental health by taking action will allow you to want to take more action, continue to build those habits, which will allow you to grow your business and to get more work. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is to learn by auditioning. Auditioning and getting your work out there is a fantastic way to actually learn how to get better in voiceover, because if you're not getting your work out there, if you're not trying new things, if you're not just going for it, you won't ever have any data to measure. You won't know what you can be successful at, what you need to work on. You have to get it out there. And why not get it out there in front of people instead of waiting? Now, I know I've heard some people say, hey, Anthony, I don't want to do that because what happens if I get it out there and someone hears it and then, they never want to listen to me again? I'm going to tell you my exact feelings on this. There are so many people out there. The likelihood at this point in our career that in the world, you are going to do some work and someone's going to remember you years down the road and say, I'm not working with that person because I remember, that guy who did a really poor job on that 15-second commercial. They're not going to remember that. Okay, but you can get better by auditioning and putting out as many auditions as possible. You can become better at what you're doing. So do not let your fear of not knowing what to do, of not knowing where to go, stop you. Just start doing and getting it out there. Put it on ACX, put it on Fiverr, put it on voices.com, Voice123. You can sign up for free. Why not? Put it wherever you can. Wherever someone lets you put a sample, put it out there. Put it on social media, which leads me to my third and final thing for the day. Volume, volume, volume. Get your work everywhere. Put it wherever you can, under rocks, on top of rocks. Put it in a balloon and fly it into the atmosphere. Do whatever you have to do to put out more work than everyone else. Because in our society today, if you are not seen, you are nothing. And I don't mean that like you as a person are nothing. I mean like your business. Your business is nothing. It is invisible. It does not exist. So you have to be seen. And the only way to be seen in today's market is to put out an insane amount of stuff. You've got to figure that out. You've got to put out so much volume you can't even consider putting out more volume, and then you want to put out more volume. You've got to put out a lot of stuff just to get seen or recognized. And then you've got to be consistent. Because I think some of the data points, and as we go along, they get more and more. I think the data points are up to 30 or 40 times now. Someone actually needs to see your work before you start to register on their on their radar. 30 to 40 times. I remember when it was around 15 to 20, and it's gone up to like 30 or 40 times. So they need to see or come in contact or some touch point with your content, your samples, something that you're doing, to start to begin to recognize you more and more. And then once that happens, a little light bulb pops in their head and say, oh yeah, I think I've seen that person before. When in reality, they've seen you like 40 times. That's why you hear McDonald's commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial. They just don't stop doing radio commercials, McDonald's. Because they know it is the amount of times that you hear it that it will finally register in your head and keep their name live. Keep their name right there, so when you have to access that you need something to eat quickly, bam, I know McDonald's is doing that thing right now, right? You have to have that mindset. So volume is everything. Volume. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening tonight. Like I said, I had a moment. I wanted to share it with you. These three things, they're not technique. They're not, how to shape your mouth or your vowels or your consonants or the speed or the tone or, some special nifty trick to market on a specific platform. They are down and dirty, nitty gritty, just going crazy with getting content out there, auditioning your head off, and not stopping until you actually get better by doing a ridiculous amount of work. All right? Thank you guys so much, as always, for listening to A VO's Journey. Please feel free to leave a review. Send me a message. Tell me what's going on with your business. If you are interested in my mentorship program, it's a year-long course where I do everything I can, put you through my unique process and system that I've put together to help you grow a lucrative, high revenue generating voiceover business with processes that you can continue to do when even after we're done. All right. So if you're interested in that, send me a message as well, or go to my website and check out the mentorship program of VOsJourney.com, and it'll be lots of fun. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Peace.